Hello, it is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Monday crossword, which means we should have a nice, gentle, themed crossword to kick off the solving week. And this gentle, themed edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Aaron Spiller, the Lake House Bros, William Arundel, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They are, of course, sustaining this channel, bringing us this series, and I'm very grateful for their support. Thank you, of course, to them and to everybody who's a patron of the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel in that way, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field, where you can find the bonus videos for patrons, as well as the Let's Check the Crosses mug for benefactors. Thank you again to everybody who's done so. And thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. That is a big help. If you are enjoying these videos, please do consider subscribing. And then there's also the Daily Solve Discord chat server, where you can interact with other members of this community. It's a nice, friendly place, and there's a link in the description field to that as well. All right, so let's get on to the crossword then. This is yet another debut. I feel we've had a whole string of debuts recently. We've been it's a golden age for debut crosswords, it feels. Anyway, this one is by Alexandria Mason. It is, of course, her first puzzle, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving and figure out what's going on in this themed edition. Mountains seen in the Swiss Miss logo. Well, surely the Alps would be there. Yes. Anyway, poses a question. If one poses a question, one asks something. Star Wars princess is, of course, Princess Leia. Tree that bends in a hurricane. A pine tree? What to do to a deal or an envelope? No, it's not a pine tree, because you seal the deal or you seal an envelope. So this is a... why do I not see what this is? Sorry. Letter between Juliet and Lima in the NATO alphabet. Juliet, oh boy, K is one of the only letters I don't think I know offhand from the NATO alphabet, the International Phonetic Alphabet. Kilo? I think it's kilo. So what? Oh, a palm tree bends in a hurricane. Of course, I should have thought of that. Given the climate, that's where you'd expect, in an area that gets hurricanes, that might be an area where palm trees are also present. One not sitting up straight could be maybe a sloucher. And here we have maybe one of our theme clues. Japanese warriors who rose to power in the 12th century would be samurais, I would think. So that is being highlighted by the revealer. Well, shall we do it now? Why not? We'll do it now. I haven't skipped the revealer recently very often. Oh, right. Quite a few. So it says wrap up, or a phonetic description of 17, 19, 25, 41, and 54 across. Wrap up. I don't know, something like dot your eyes or some other samurais. I'm not sure. Wrap up. I'm not sure. I don't see it. Sorry. We'll come back to it later. Auto would be a car, an automobile. Shucks could be oh darn, maybe, given these crosses. Cuisine with Penang curry could be Thai cuisine. Mom on Family Guy. I am not sure. Let's look at the crosses. Collection of maps. Oh, this isn't oh darn. It's maybe aw darn. That looks reasonable as well, because a collection of maps would be an atlas. So a mole or a rat, maybe. It could be a spy. So those could both be terms used to describe a double agent, or, well, I suppose a mole is a double agent. A rat is someone who spills secrets. They could be a double agent, but they could just be, I don't know, revealing things in an interrogation or something. Yahoo alternative, AOL. So I suppose an alternative just in the sense of a classic internet company, classic internet provider, I suppose. Excited cheer would be a whoop, and this looks like daily. Warmest figures in weather forecasts would be daily highs. There we go. So the mom on Family Guy is Lois, and everything else we've already seen. All right, so daily highs. Okay, so it does involve the eyes. Daily highs, samurais. But I can't, I don't quite see I can't quite infer what the revealer is meant to be. All right, if one identifies someone on Instagram, say, one tags them. I forgot that. Yeah, right, I forgot about that. That was. Do people still do that? I don't use Instagram very much, but I haven't thought about people being tagged in a very long time. Anyway, to long for somebody is to ache for them or for a thing. Word etched on most Oscar statuettes would be best. So, best picture or best music, that sort of thing. I guess it'd be best original score, I guess. Many names of Oscar awards include best. Marathon, for one, is a race. Part of a dishwasher cycle is the rinse cycle. The commencement of something is the beginning, the onset of it. And a sweetener found unspoiled in ancient Egyptian tombs. It is amazing that honey has that property, that it is so non-perishable. It is extraordinary, but that's extremely incredible. Found in ancient Egyptian tombs. That is amazing. I'm sure I'd seen that fact before, but I didn't remember it. Has the rights to. If one has the rights to something, one owns it. Maxim is an old saw, maybe? A saying, an adage, a bromide, a bit of weathered wisdom. To become too scared without is to wuss out, I suppose. And then here we have full of bubbles as laundry is sudsy. Game ending in mate would be chess, which ends in a checkmate. And good in Spanish would be bueno. 1971 hit from The Who that begins, "No one knows what it's like to be the bad man." That is the song Behind Blue Eyes. So once again, we are ending in eyes. Why can I not? I can't figure out what this is. I'm very sorry if you're seeing it and attempting to let me know by yelling through the screen. Transmitted by phone line would be transmitted by phone line. Telex? I'm not sure. That's obviously not right, but I'm not sure what this is. Sorry. Sneak attack could be a raid and sort of night raid. Transmitted by phone line. Faxed. Right, of course. That's a way to transmit information over a phone line, would be a fax machine. If one put someone on a pedestal, they exalt them. Oops. Makeup artist. A liar. There we go. He's someone who makes things up. They have this sort of art of lying, I suppose you could say. Abandons plans unexpectedly. If you bail, you abandon plans unexpectedly, so bails. Start to love. I think this is simply referring to the letter L. So often when you see start to, and especially if there's a question mark, it could mean a prefix to a word, but it could also just mean its first letter. And in this case, it's that. We have to spell it phonetically then. Tiny canine pest would be a flea. It might plague a dog. And by a very direct route, idiomatically. As the crow flies. There we go. And we once again end with an eyes sound. Here we have the E-flat equivalent on a piano. So E-flat and D sharp are played with the same key on a piano. 2017 Pixar hit is Coco, that film, which I really enjoyed. Oh, and crossing that, we have a Disney princess from Polynesia. So we have two sort of Disney-related films here because Pixar, of course, is owned by Disney, and the princess from Polynesia is Moana. So if one distributes something, one meets it out. You could mete out rations. You could distribute them. And resting on, if something's resting on something, it is atop it. I've blank, words of impatience. I've had it. I've had it with not understanding how this revealer works. Many a stage whisper is an aside. So in a theatrical production, an actor could deliver a side, which is, sort of sotto voce, which is meant for the audience, but not the other characters. If one lends a hand, one aids somebody. And scissors sound could be snip, 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 snip. Bit of inspiration is an idea. Hotspot for relaxation could be a spa. To try to take weight off would be to diet, so to try to lose pounds yourself. If you're wearing a wig and sunglasses, say, you're in disguise. So once again, we end with eyes. Pedal next to the brake would be the gas pedal, the accelerator. A web address, in brief, is a URL, a Uniform Resource Locator. The Van Gogh locale, or Van Gogh, or I know, better pronunciation than those. Arl, I think, is the setting of a painting, which I think has been referenced in at least once in the last few months in the New York Times crossword, I think, but I could be inventing that. Tool for nails could be a file, a nail file, and hazardous winter weather could be sleet. Sort of dangerous, icy mix. Got it could be icy, I understand. And second to none would be the finest of them all. So, finalize, right. There we go. To wrap something up would be to finalize it. Very good. Okay. Okay, I was on the wrong track entirely. I was looking for something that was going to involve the letter I as a letter, but there's absolutely no reason that should have been the case. I mean, it does say a phonetic description, so final eyes. All right. Alma mater is the school you attended, the university you attended. Dog breed designated a natural monument by the Japanese government. Is it an Akita? That's fascinating. I've never heard that fact before. That's amazing. I assume it's this dog because it's associated with Japan, but let's see. Bill or Hillary Clinton scholastically Yaley, so they attended Yale. I think that's maybe where they met. I believe it is. Commotion would be a whole ado, a big sort of disturbance, perhaps. If one makes a long story short, one edits the story down. A popular mix for Scotch whiskey would be soda, so you could have Scotch and soda. And lost traction would be slid, maybe on the sleet that has been falling on the ground. Trail labeled with a black diamond or blue square, say. A ski slope? There we go. So black diamond, for instance, a difficult ski slope. And then here we have some online communications for short would be IMs, instant messages, and that was filled with the crosses. Stink would be an odor. D, grade-wise, would be poor. Stately trees are elms, and before we fill that in, let's look at the crosses here. Survivor immunity token would be an idol. Where you might see the message, the meeting host will let you in soon. An online, Zoom, finalize with a Z, there we go. So Zoom, as in an online video conference room. Certainly I am well familiar with those. I'm sure many of us are at this point. Okay, stately trees are elm trees and goofs are airs. Well, goofs could be a noun or a verb, as could airs. So anyway, I think, I guess air isn't a noun actually. It would be an error. Sorry about that. Anyway, I think this is the answer. There we go. That was the Monday crossword. Indeed, a nice, gentle, Monday-themed grid with a revealer that eluded me until the very end, essentially. Our final eyes. Because indeed, we have eyes finalizing each of these answers. So daily highs, samurais, behind blue eyes, as the crow flies, and in disguise. Sounds like some kind of sort of, I don't know, free association poetry or something. But there we have it. A nice, gentle Monday puzzle to start the week, exactly as ordered and expected and delivered by our debut constructor. So there we have it. And that's that for today's video. Unfortunately, I'm on a very tight schedule this morning. I don't have time for the clues from yesterday's puzzle, but there were several, so go back and check them out yourself, perhaps, if you've got a moment and are interested. Anyway, that is that for today's video. I will be back for the Tuesday edition of the New York Times Crossword, so do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Monday. Take care.